Hello, my name is Eugene. I've been doing cold email for the past 7 years now. And in today's video, we're going to talk about what is cold email because not all people understand what it is. What's the difference between cold email and email marketing, for example, how it works and where it's going at the moment. So the first question is, what is it? It's contacting people you don't know via email and offering them a product or a service you sell. Sounds pretty simple, but what's the difference with email marketing? Email marketing is when you contact people who have already interacted with you, meaning they opted in, they subscribed to a newsletter, they somehow interacted with you before, and you actually got their permission to contact them. For whom cold email works? Cold email works for both B2B and B2C, but usually requires a high ticket offer. So that's the reason why it's most commonly used for B2B offers, because usually in the B2B segment, the ticket is higher, but it can also be used in B2C as well. For example, for high ticket offers like, I don't know, personal financial consulting, or sometimes I saw it with, fitness. I saw it with, all kinds of services provided to individuals, especially on the individuals on the wealthier side. It's also extremely powerful for testing new business ideas. For example, when you have a new product, for example, for startups, you can make an outreach super quickly, test if there is a demand, if there is a product market fit for the offer or a product like in general you're offering, and know if somebody is interested or not. Because in many cases, you quickly get a lot of feedback, and if no feedback is positive, you definitely need to change something about the thing that you offer. How about cold email versus other methods of lead gen? I created this nice table for my website comparing all kinds of lead gen channels. So we're comparing cold email, paid ads, LinkedIn outreach, and cold calling. And as you can see on this picture, it's all green for cold email, meaning that it's very good in all terms, but we're going to talk about disadvantages in a second. So if we're talking cost efficiency, cold email is kind of cheap when we measure, in terms of pay per call you pay to pitch something, or cost per single outreach. It's also very, very, it can be very personalized because you can, write a specific part of copy dedicated to a specific person. Unlike, let's say, with paid ads, when of course you can segment people, but you cannot have a one-to-one personalization with paid ads. Scalability. Another thing is cold email is scalable. It's very scalable, although it can sometimes be complicated in terms of knowledge of how to scale it properly. Nevertheless, it can be highly scalable compared to, let's say, cold calling, where scaling requires most of the time hiring people, which is inevitably increasing not only costs but also the complexity of the business overall. Because you have to manage people. LinkedIn is also very difficult to scale because of LinkedIn's policies, where you have a limited amount of connection requests you can send per week, and also their overall, I would say, focus on organic reach, and them, for example, requiring pretty quickly a real person verification, meaning you would have to submit an ID for every person you register. Of course, you can find people to buy accounts from and make an outreach from their accounts, but it's also very, very difficult because you're basically limited by the ID verification. Targeting precision. Again, with cold email, we can really segment specific people we want to reach. We can do, a very, very targeted outreach to any specific person, or like a very small group of people, like CEOs of specific companies, for example. With paid ads, it's a lot more complicated because like the targeting options are like more broad and limited. Again, with LinkedIn, you can reach specific people, but again, you're limited by your own network. If they don't have your connection request, if they don't accept it, you can just send them an email. But again, you're very limited by how many emails you have, and you run into those kinds of problems. With cold calling, again, you can call whoever you want. And I think we also forgot to cover the cost efficiency part in depth. So with paid ads, it's kind of very easy to scale, but the cost per call is on average higher than if cold email is done properly. With LinkedIn outreach, cost efficiency is usually pretty low. If we're not talking organic content, I'm talking about cold outreach, because again, there are no cost efficient tools. For example, like we have on cold email that do what's called inbox rotation. So LinkedIn tools are expensive overall in the first place. And second is, again, because of those limitations, you would always have to spend a lot of money on the infrastructure just because of those limitations in terms of how many people you can send the connection requests to, overall strictness of the number of messages you can send within your network and so on. With cold calling, as I mentioned, you're just basically limited by hiring people, because the more you do the cold calling, the more you have to just basically hire people. You cannot scale it by, you can slightly, but not much, optimize the cold calling infrastructure. Of course, you can have a great calling tools, but still, in the end, it comes down to hiring more people. Okay, we covered this part. What do we have next? Disadvantages of cold email. I can maximize myself again. Disadvantages, yeah, actually cold email has disadvantages, and I would say the main disadvantage is just that you have to be very, very experienced and have a lot of knowledge in terms of execution, because cold email is very hard in terms of deliverability. So actually landing in people's inboxes is pretty hard. So you need to know many tools. You need to know how to integrate them together. You need to know how to set up the whole infrastructure in a safe way. So in general, it's not rocket science, obviously, but it's still pretty complicated to everything else. For example, compared to cold calling, where you can just, of course, you need knowledge of selling and stuff like that, but the barrier of entrance to at least get some results is a lot lower, I believe, because you can just call people and you would at least make some sales. Of course, your conversion rate wouldn't be like perfect, but still you would sell. You have the ability to sell. Or for example, with ads, Facebook or Google do a great job of actually finding an audience for you because of their algorithms. So again, they take care of a lot of things so that you don't have to. In terms of cold email, execution is more difficult. Another question we have all the time is, does cold email have future? Because many people actually treat cold email as some form of spam, where you just send unsolicited messages to people that don't really need your service, that all they want to do is make sure they don't open your email and never see you again. But in reality, in many cases, this is true. We're all tired of people reaching out to us, offering things we don't need. But because I work in this industry, I see that in many cases, it works like any other advertising, where we're not really selling, like making people buy what we sell, but rather just connecting the right services or like products to the right people that didn't know those services existed, or they didn't know where to get them. So, and this is the whole idea of the future, is that spam filters are becoming more advanced, but outreach strategies evolve accordingly. Now our offering can be more tailored because of AI, so we can be more precise when outreaching to people. Moreover, initially the data we use is more accurate because data providing tools are better and better every year. So we can really segment people. We can really check if they're the right people for us in the first place, to offer them if they even need what we offer. And we also become more cautious, meaning the volumes we're sending are becoming lower and lower every year. We pay more in some cases for the infrastructure because we can send lower volumes from the same infrastructure, I would say. We use, more inboxes, we use more domains, and we send lower volumes at the same time. So in general, it comes down to accuracy is becoming the new volume. So we send less volume, but we're becoming more accurate. And also we become more conversational and less salesy, because now spam filters can not only find specific spam words in our copy, but also see if we're being, too salesy or too, pushy in terms of selling. So again, we become more conversational. We try to be more flexible, really try to understand what the client needs, and really offer something tailored to them. Thank you for watching the video. This was the first video for the channel. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would help me grow and also, help other people discover this channel. And if you ever need any help with cold email on a paid basis, I'll be posting videos here for free, by the way. But if for some reason, like let's say you don't have time or you're just willing to solve other problems, you can go to reachspike.com and book a free consultation with us. It's completely free. We would come up with a solution to a problem you're currently solving with your outreach. We would discuss all the possible opportunities, whether you have or not already have any existing outreach system. So if you need any help, just go to reachspike.com, book a call, and I would be happy to work with you. Thank you and have a great day.